at 20. I said I better.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the birthplace of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio, where the ceremonial guitar has been smashed, and that means we are set for football at Huntington Bank Field.
Chad Ryland to kick off.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led out by the son of the Hall of Famer out of Colorado. It's Shedeur Sanders.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard, fundamental footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
25 yards there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. On play action, here's Shedeur. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. Sanders to throw. And a quick shovel pass here is complete. On the gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. And in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Come on. Hey, wrap up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Sanders. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. Here's Sanders. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. To throw now, here's Sanders. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
And then what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to, when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
Looking to put a drive together.
Here we go. Cougar 19. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Vernon will try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
79 Broncos.
Operating from the gun. Vernon On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Ready? 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Pass over the middle, tipped, but he still brings it in. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Get it! 70 Timberwolves.
Brown. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
A loss of 3 brings up second and goal at the 6-yard line.
Ready?
They will toss to Brown. Oh, and he's going to be met behind the line and taken down. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards?
It's 3rd and goal.
Ready, right?
Back to throw. Vernon. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Okay.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
To throw is Sanders. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. You look at this Browns defense. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
And the Bengals
Ready? Tap the 60, tap the 60.
44-yard line.
They go play action now. Sanders on the move past the 40 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did.
They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sand.
Okay, break.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
9, ready, go.
From the shotgun, Sanders. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
18. That's another Bengals first down.
Bronco switch, Bronco switch.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
Sanders. This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Bengals score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
At the 38-yard line.
Here we go, set. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready,
Looking to throw. Vernon. Got a man right side, is Sharp. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Cougar 19.
Back to throw. Vernon. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Second and goal from the 1.
At the 1-yard line.
Ready. Ready.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Let's go.
They try and run forward here with Brown. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started.
No gain on the play. Brings up 4th and goal.
On 4th down, Vernon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Browns 7.
So after the field goal, Riley back out as he'll send this one away. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with his better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now Sanders. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
I see the surprise on your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Throwing, Sanders. Big tight end, complete. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
First down, Cincinnati.
Looking to throw. Sanders. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Viking 18.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches. At the 22-yard line.
Out of the gun here, Sanders. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing again at Sanders. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Throwing to start the drive. Vernon. And this one is incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
On the set.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Vernon. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
At the 37-yard line.
Ready.
Off the play fake. Vernon. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
19. Ready.
Off play action. Vernon. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Third and 19.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Hey.
Operating from the gun, Vernon looking deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So not the greatest of first halves for him, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points didn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Our journey through the NFL starts.
And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff ready to go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Pat the 60, pat the 60.
Play action. It's Sanders. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. Operating from the gun, Sanders. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. From the gun, it's Shador. And a quick throw here, that's complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Hey!
This 2nd and 4.
Second and 4 at the Browns' 15-yard line.
Unlock line!
Now a first carry here for the running back. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh sent on the field goal unit. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Cleveland offense making their way out. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Chase Brown, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a bit closer.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Here's the option. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. It's 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 45-yard line.
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. And it's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Sanders. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he is going to have the Bengals first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Alert! Alert!
First down.
Cincinnati!
7. First down, Cincinnati.
Hey! Hey! Check that!
And they'll run the inside handoff. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd down and 6 now.
Ready! 18, cut up!
Off the play fake. Sanders. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Mason Graham breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh sent on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and this will stay a 1-score game as the lead holds at 8. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last time that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Come on. Set. Hawk 70.
Another run for Brown on second down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Let's go now.
Back to throw. Vernon. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he's got this down to the 35. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
And the Browns,
Ready?
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 30.
Running right, here's Brown. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Okay, ready?
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Bengals' 38-yard line.
Cowboy, trap 60, trap 60. Hey, that's your man, that's your man.
Looking to throw. Vernon. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Cougar 19.
Back to throw. Vernon. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready?
Operating from the gun. Vernon in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The sack sets him back a full 10 yards there on 1st and goal.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living the best of both worlds here.
Touchdown! A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Well, the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And indeed means action.
Exactly.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Room here to run. Still going inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
60 yards.
And the Bengals use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football.
Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
And they're going to speed things up here.
9 on the play. Brings up third down.
60 Maverick! 60 Maverick! Go!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Browns unable to... The chains on fourth down. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the 16-yard line.
From the gun, it's Sanders. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
5-yard pickup on the play.
Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Sanders. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So now the Browns down by 12, 2:15 remaining. Their perfect start to the season in serious peril as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Vernon. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Reek Woolen.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Now 2nd and 5.
Cowboy 80. Ready, go.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offset.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Hey, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Let's go. Viking 18.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Vernon. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And this is 4-down territory here. They know down 2 scores at this late stage, 10-yard passes aren't going to do it. So they took the shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
No choice but to go. Here's fourth down now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Back to throw again. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked up by Jonas Sanker. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not